Alright, this video is supplemental to Sliptonic's Path Workbench video. Great videos, check them out. Sometimes you get models that you don't need every feature in when you're trying to machine and use something like the Path Workbench or a CAM package. Sometimes you get models that are broken, something artificially is not there, splines are where circles should be, all kinds of stuff you'll run across when working with other people's models. In this video I will open up a model and basically reverse it so that I can create toolpaths that I want using the dimensions of the model. So we'll go through this video I created and I'll walk you through it. I get the step file open. I want to use the draft workbench. I'm going to select this top face because I want just the 2D edges of that top face. And when you use that tool, make sure you put yourself in the right view, otherwise it won't make your lines right. So I'll make sketches basically from that top plane. I did 4 sketches, and we'll go ahead and use a space bar to hide the things I'm not working with. I just want to work with this sketch right now, and I'm going to edit this sketch. I just right clicked and click on edit the sketch. We'll go through and I'll delete out what I don't want in this particular sketch for what I need to do. And this one I just want the outer square. When doing toolpaths with CAM packages, sometimes all you need is a line to tell it just go across this edge, a line at 1 inch from center, from wherever you want to start to end. So we're going into the next sketch, and I don't want the lines for this particular sketch. I'm just going for the middle body, middle section there. We'll get rid of these crazy splines it sees and arcs. I would usually have those if I would draw this in FreeCAD circles, but for some odd reason the other software, when translating that over, those are splines. Now that I've done that, we're going to edit this one, and I want to get rid of all the lines and the middle section. Now when I do the Path Workbench, I don't believe I do a drill cycle. That's pretty easy to use. It's the center of the circle, size of the drill. Not much you really need to put into a CAM package software, because if you put in the wrong size drill, that G-code's still going to run that drill. And it's going to, if it's a peck cycle, it's still going to peck that drill down on the material, and you're going to be happy as a clam because it's drilling right where it's supposed to be. But it's too big or too small of a hole because, well, the CAM package doesn't care what size bit is in the actual holder. It's just going to generate your code for you. So right here I'm going to recreate this circle, or this, it looks like spline, S-spline and 2 arcs. We're just basically cleaning up my model the way I want to work with it. I want to work with circles, not arcs. And it looks like I'm going to do the same thing for this last one. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of everything but the 2 circles, arcs, and S-splines, apparently. Let's go ahead and just delete, delete, delete. Go ahead and create 2 new circles there. Looks like I'm using a center point for that one. And for the other hole, I'll use a 3 rim point. If you're just learning FreeCAD, I say eat up all the information you can and just draw. That's the only way you get good with your tools. It's just a tool. I find it's just as good as, say, any other drafting tool for what it does, drawing tool. It may have its limitations, but all your software does. So now that I've got all those sketches where I like them, we're going to go into the part design, and I create a new body. Looks like I had all those highlighted. There we go. I'll do the XY plane. I'll right click on these and add them to the body. Moved up to the body. Now that I've got this body, I want to create a padding with my first sketch. So we have our block. I'll reverse it 2 inches. Everything I usually program on my CNCs, top of the part's Z0, so I like to draw that way. Everything's Z negative in my drawings. We're going to use that center one drawing to create a pocket. And the reason I'm doing this is because on the original model, if I tried to use the pocketing workbench tool, it would not see that as a pocket, and when I select on the faces, it just doesn't want to put a pocket there the way I want to. I can't control it as much. And the reason I do these holes separate, they're counter bores, is for the same reason. They have a different depth than my middle pocket. I can use the same tool and all that. I just want to generate different G code because they're different Z depths. So now that I've got all that done and reversed, I can start working with this using the Path Workbench. Yay. I always got to set the origin of my part to a corner. Select my tooling. And this is the basics of planning out how you're going to machine a part. And when you're thinking about drawing for a part, like I said, you don't need everything from a drawing necessarily for machining. Features that you aren't going to be machining right now, do you really need them in the drawing you're working with? Or the body? Do you really need 3D? Can you work with just 2D because you're doing a 2D shape? So now that I got that base body, I'm going to select that middle pocket. It's got a nice face there. The Path Workbench likes working with that face. It should. It was created with FreeCAD. Set my step over, I don't even know what I said, 25. Looks like I'm going to play around here. I'm going to do a grid. I would never do a grid, but just to show you. I'm going to set my step down to, looks like 20th at a time. Apply it and see what kind of toolpath we got. There's your grid toolpath. Go ahead and change that to an offset. See what it looks like. Sweet. So we got one pocket done. What are we doing next? Looks like we're going to pocket these counterboard holes. Obviously, I would have drilled these out beforehand. And if they were different depths, I would make different pocket operations for them. There's no step over for these. I want to make it one big swoop. I guess I could have done a helix for this, maybe even a spiral. Master cam, I guess you'd call it a ramp maybe. I definitely want to change my step down. There. I just guess I didn't get my number in right. 20,000 step down. And we'll go ahead and do a contour, it looks like. I like the finish I get on a 20,000 step down. I hope that helps some of you out there. Again, check out FreeCAD Path Workbench tutorials. FreeCAD's coming a long way. I'm impressed. I do this, like I said, daily. I've got an EDM, CNC mill, CNC lathe that I go to work in a room. It's me that. Don't have any engineering help, so I've got to use my CAD/CAM software. And I will tell you that I have big die assemblies that the software I use will not open. And I can open those in FreeCAD, hide parallels, bolsters, all kind of forms, cutters, and get to the specific model I want, export it as a step file, and use my other CAD/CAM package to get all my tool paths and stuff. But as a software, I'd recommend FreeCAD to anyone wanting to learn CAD. And from what I'm seeing of 18, the CAM package is really awesome. And with a little creativity on how you're making your parts, you can pretty much use it as is for your full-on. There's nothing you can't do with it, really. It's just your creativity and your strategy, your machining strategies. So, I hope that helps some of you out there.